3 minutes. Poof! There's a game. Now, makes it a lot easier than it was because in the end it even took a secret technique to get this video out, but nonetheless, I made a game in under 3 minutes. And this is how. First, I opened Unity Hub and started a new project. As you can see, this is why time challenges don't include this part. And now, with the project already open, on attempt number Infinity +1 I think, we begin. First, I navigate to my image editor. No, it's not Photoshop, I think it's called I'mBroke.exe. We'll be working with a 9x9 image. I invert the default white color and add 3 dots that will be the stars. Pretty convincing. I set aside a copy of that image and invert the color on this one, because it's faster to make the second image out of the first one. It's actually pretty cool. There are fewer black pixels than white, so I simply draw in everything that isn't a rocket. Well, a pixel art rocket from like way back. I save those 2 images. The stars will be the background, and the rocket will be the player, but also the space debris, because I can change its color later to be completely black. Yes, it's technically just a black square, but I never claimed the game would have good art, okay? But right now I'm going to start working on the programming. Calm down, won't be that boring. In Visual Studio, it actually predicts what you want to type and lets you autocomplete it. I type PU space G space, which turns into public game object. With this line, I've created 2 labels, P and D, player and debris. Under this word update, the code will activate once every frame. And in here, I'm going to check if the W key was just pressed. Every time your fat finger hits the W key, then the code below it will activate. Down there, I'm going to access the game object P and add an upward force to it. So when the W key is pressed, the game object will get pushed upwards, like a jump. Yes, I know real rockets don't jump. Huh? They fell off screen. Don't worry, in the next line I'm going to check if the player is visible on screen. If the W key is pressed and they are not on screen, then reload the game. This idea of doing everything when the W key is pressed is really cool to me. That way, I don't have to have any extra code to keep track of time. This code has been trimmed down so much since my first draft. Turns out, it takes me forever to type anything, like right now. Now, all that's left is to add an obstacle to avoid. So, when the W key is pressed, I'm going to spawn in a copy of the game object D, which is a piece of debris. It will appear at a random height to the right of the screen, and will also be moving left, crossing the screen, and potentially ruining your day. I'm really happy with the cool idea I had to make the debris black to match the background. That way, you can only see the debris because of it passing in front of the stars. It makes it much more interesting than just a plain obstacle. I'll save the file and start with some more technical things in Unity. We've got how much time left? A little more than a minute? Next, I import the images I made, the rocket and the stars. But because they're such unusually low quality images, I will have to change their settings to look right. I change the default sizes, and then I change their filter mode. Once I apply those changes, I will change one last thing on the stars to make them repeat their pattern. The clock is ticking. After I drop both images into the scene, I will give them both a box collider, which defines an edge around them. The stars will only use it to know where I want them to repeat their pattern across, so I disable its ability to collide with other objects. Then, I start working on the debris. I make the image all black, and make sure it appears in front of the star image. Next, I add a rigid body which adds physics. The debris will have 0 gravity. I'm going to copy this so there's 2 different game objects now, the debris and the rocket. The rocket is not black, and unlike the debris, it has gravity along with some drag. I don't have much time, but all that's left is to add the code I wrote to an object and to misclick, and connect up the debris and rocket as P and D. Saved. Took numerous attempts, and I almost blew it, but I'd finally beat it. I was pretty shaken up with that combination of emotions. And there it is. It works. In under 3 minutes. You play as a rocket, dodging space debris, and you lose if you go off the screen. The fun twist is that you can only see the debris because it blocks out starlight. I suppose it also has the quirk and charm of the hideous graphical quality. I actually kind of do enjoy it. I ended up only making 2 images and writing 5 main lines of code. It was pretty fun getting it to that level of efficiency. But what really saved the day was my secret technique. A technique so secret I wasn't even aware I was using it when I used it. The way I was able to make a game in 3 minutes? I tried to make a game in 1 minute and failed. This was going to be like that one video I saw from Dev Banana. You know, the guy who inspired my other video and apparently inspired this guy too. Hey, at least I changed the color of the arrow. Anyway, I wanted to go bigger than he did and make something actually recognizable as a game in 1 minute. Well, I failed, but it's a pretty great 3-minute game. And in the end, I'm happy with that.